everyone. This presentation is on weapons training with the Canadian Armed Forces. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the presentation.
Training is introduced simply as a process of assisting people with enhancing their efficiency and effectiveness of a particular work area by getting more knowledge and practice. Training also is important to establish specific skills, abilities, and knowledge to an employee. For the Canadian Armed Forces, weapon training is very important for them because the content and the technical are dependent on the training. Also, there are some issues and suggestions they have to solve.
The Canadian Armed Forces uses a blended progressive training method to instruct new recruits using a C7 semi-automatic assault rifle. The C7 training begins during the early weeks of basic training with 40-minute training sessions in a classroom setting. The weapons training with the Canadian Armed Forces falls within the delivery and evaluation stage of the instructional system design model. To ensure the required structure, discipline, and consistency with training regardless of who is teaching, lesson plans are set out in a step-by-step manner and are followed almost word for word. Lesson plans begin with instructor notes, which include the aim, time allotted method, required equipment, and preparation requirements for each session. Next is an outline of the lesson content beginning with the preliminary explanation of the overall lesson, followed by a review of a previous lesson. At each step, the trainer will demonstrate the action, followed by the trainee modeling the behavior. Behavior modeling is a very effective training method to teach technical skills such as weapons handling. This is followed with confirming questions and practice at the end of each step to ensure adequate transfer of information. Active practice is necessary in order to achieve some level of proficiency in performing the task or skill or demonstrating the knowledge. At the conclusion of each lesson, the instructor will take questions from the class, followed with a summary of the entire lesson. Lesson 1 on safety precautions is the foundation of weapons training and is practiced at the beginning and end of all subsequent lessons. As live range shooting is used as a final testing method, it is extremely important that safety practices are mastered and constantly reinforced. Lessons continue in a progressive manner from stripping, assembling, and cleaning the C7 to handling ammunition and unloading the rifle, to handling and aiming the weapon in various positions, and so on, each lesson using the same format. Once all lessons are complete, each trainee is tested with a handling test to ensure they are proficient at handling a weapon and adequately prepared to shoot a C7 on the live firing range. The handling and shooting tests provide a means for instructors to monitor progress during training. The handling test instructions are set out for trainers in a similar step-by-step fashion as the lesson plans. The handling test procedure consists of 8 individual tests. Standards for passing the handling test are set out as skilled standard in all tests, average, which is a minimum of average in 1 or more tests, and fail, which is a failure in 1 or more tests. A failure in 1 test equals overall failure, resulting in the recruit being removed from training, unable to continue training with their course mates. The confirmation of weapons training is more severe than other aspects of basic training because of the gravity of possible consequences that could occur as a result of poor performance on a live range. An example of this testing is demonstrated on this video.
Start the class. Anybody need to be taught through for inspection clear weapons? Don't be shy to raise your hands if you do so. Right on. For inspection clear weapons. Clear weapons. Push on the bottom of it. Hold it in place. Bring the cocking handles fully forward. Clear! Clear!
The final stage of C7 training is the personal weapons test, whereby the trainee is tested on their shooting proficiency based on prior training. The first procedure regarding live ranges, of course, is safety precautions, which are reviewed with all trainees along with a general overview on how the range testing process will ensue. Before testing begins, recruits are required to demonstrate previously learned weapons handling drills, which they are required to be competent in order to proceed onto the ranges. The trainees are then positioned in front of their target and given the opportunity to practice under the assistance and coaching of instructors. This enables the trainee and the trainer to gain the maximum information from their shots to enable adjustments with positioning and sights. Recruits who do not attain the required standard are given further coaching before being allowed to proceed to the final testing. Confirmation commences at the direction of a range officer, with more grouping and zeroing weapons, followed by engaging targets with deliberate fire at various distances in standing, kneeling, and prone positions. Points are assigned based on required contact and placement of shots on the target. If trainees do not pass this testing, they are not removed from course. However, the score is noted on the final course report with recommendation for further testing once they arrive at their future units. Refresher training and testing is required on an annual basis to maintain qualification.
In the Canadian Armed Forces, a blended training approach is used to ensure the best quality of transfer is achieved. This blended approach is unique in that the training process, even for a single session, is broken into segments. The trainer will explain and demonstrate what is to be learned, and the trainees will have a chance to do things for themselves. For example, taking a weapon apart would have multiple steps, and each of these steps would be demonstrated and then followed by the individuals in the class. In this way, behavior modeling is used efficiently and effectively. At the end of the class, it is encouraged that trainees ask questions if they are unsure about anything that has been covered in the class. Behavior modeling has several advantages, the main one being that trainees have a chance to immediately practice what they have been taught. Combined with the step-by-step approach that military uses, this training technique is both unique and proven to be very effective. The blended approach that is used is effective because what one training method lacks, the other makes up for. Lectures are typically not very effective in the development of skills or changes in attitudes or behaviors. They don't allow for the implementation of practical training techniques, which are vital to the military's training process and have lower learning involvement. This is compensated for by the behavior modeling approach. Behavior modeling allows for multiple learning styles to be accounted for, and practical elements of training to be effectively practiced throughout the process. It boosts learner involvement in addition to the development of skills, behaviors, and attitudes. By combining these two approaches into a blended training process, information and practicality are both taken into consideration, and gaps in each training method are filled. Due to the nature of the job, physical fidelity is an important consideration. What is learned is similar to what will be used in the field. It would be impractical and dangerous to expect trainees to learn on the job, so the next best thing is allowing them to gain whatever hands-on experience is possible while still ensuring a safe and stable environment. Active practice and action learning are the best way to be sure that people are learning what is necessary. Additionally, the blended approach allows for some psychological preparation of trainees, giving them realistic experiences and expectations while still instilling the required knowledge. In-class sessions are used to provide the initial information about the weapons that trainees will be using in the future, while at the same time helping to provide practical experience. This approach allows people to take both a theoretical and hands-on approach to training and ensures that different styles of learning are accommodated. It is crucial that the trainers are well skilled in what they will be training others to do for the safety and well-being of trainees and trainers alike, in addition to successes in the future. Because firearms are by nature very dangerous, this is highly important. Safety precautions is the first lesson that is taught in the training process, and this information is carried through until the very end, when testing takes place with actual weapons. Instructors are typically military personnel with combat arms backgrounds. They must be primary leadership qualification, or PLQ, trained, and will have this qualification at the rank of Master Corporal.
The Canadian Armed Forces consist of various positions. Whether you're an infantry soldier or a postal clerk, all forces members are required to complete the same basic training. As explained on the Canadian Armed Forces website, the training emphasizes basic military skills, weapons handling, first aid, ethical values, and fitness training. For this project, we concentrated on weapons training. While researching the subject, we have come to realize that there is a problem with the transfer of training for members who don't deal with the weapons on a day-to-day basis due to their job description, i.e. support trades. The transfer of training consists of two conditions, generalization and maintenance. Generalization refers to the use or application of learned material on the job, and maintenance refers to the use or application of learned material to the job over a period of time. Weapons combat training deals with barriers such as a lack of opportunity and time to use a skill, the culture in the work group does not support the training, the skill couldn't be applied to the day-to-day job, or there is a lack of resources to use the skill. As a result, since basic training is for all members, regardless of their positions, when it comes to weapons training, support trades are lacking generalization and maintenance. We can deduct from the barriers that the training process is lacking generalization due to the skill not applying to the day-to-day job. Therefore, the culture in the work group does not support the training. Additionally, the barriers prove that the training lacks maintenance due to the lack of time and opportunity to use a skill and the limited resources, i.e. live ammunition, to practice the skill. To add, the maintenance is lacking on the basis that it is only being revised annually. Consequently, the deficiency of practice results to skill atrophy. There are various ways to improve the transfer of generalization and maintenance. Firstly, there are multiple strategies after the training that each role should follow. Management should ensure trainees have immediate and frequent opportunity to practice what is learned and develop an action plan for transfer. Show support by reducing job pressures and workload. Trainers should provide and solicit feedback and continue to provide support, and trainees should use the skill on the job as soon and as often as possible. Secondly, there should be a positive transfer climate in all positions. A positive transfer climate is defined as one in which there exist cues that remind employees to apply training material, feedback and rewards, and supervisor and peer support. Finally, there should be a use of post-training supplements for maintenance. Post-training supplements is defined as a transfer intervention that take place on the job following a training program. The useful supplements that connect with above solutions are booster sessions and upward feedback. Booster sessions are extensions of training programs that involve a review of the training material. Booster sessions should be mandatory and monthly, done by simulation or on the field without live ammunition due to the lack of resources. On the other hand, upward feedback is data on the frequency with which they engage in train behavior and written comments for subordinates on the performance. Upward feedback would be a great reminder to use the skill so long as the time is permitted by management and motivated members to improve on their skills.
In conclusion, after studying the training process of the Canadian Armed Forces, we would like to say that this training program is an excellent opportunity for people to get a round-level experience of the things that we could have never gained through other organizations. On the other hand, the problem that they have is transfer of training for members who don't deal with the weapons on a day-to-day basis due to difference in job descriptions for different areas of the military. Overall, the blended training process is efficient and effective and provides a unique approach that caters to multiple learning styles. Join traditional in-class lectures with step-by-step hands-on practice to ensure maximum transfer of information and skills.